Hi everyone, my name is Cody. I'm a software engineer here in San Francisco. In this video series, we are building a coding agent from scratch. Think of it kind of like Lovable, and we're building it all from scratch, and I'm documenting the process from start to finish and open sourcing the whole thing. In the last video, we were playing around with a 3D snake game. So we started with just a 2D. We started with a 2D snake game and then progressively kind of built it up to be this 3D. Here we go. This 3D snake game where it's first-person point of view. We added mice that were running around that you could eat, and just kind of overall having a little bit of fun with the project. And in this next video, we're actually going to push this a little bit to its breaking point on purpose, just so we can see where the limitations of our agent is, and that we can start to introduce some more important concepts that are going to be important for this video series to really take this agent to the next level. Given that, let's dive right in. I want to do is I want to just give LlamaBot the maximum creative freedom to do whatever it wants to do with this game. So there's a prompt I like that has worked well in the past where you basically just tell the agent to 10x the design, make it 10 times better, incorporate better design elements, incorporate better, whatever it is. So I'm gonna put that prompt in here now, and let's just see what LlamaBot can cook up. Okay, I'm gonna say, please improve the design and user experience of this game by 10x. Don't hold back. Really wow the user within a radically improved experience and show off your software engineering capabilities. All right. let's see what LlamaBot can cook up here. All right, it's streaming some stuff back. Look, it's adding a loading indicator too. Looks pretty intense. We'll have to look at the design plan as well to see kind of the initial thought process it put into this. Okay, it just finished. There is something broken about it, but I just want to look at the design idea first. And we might actually be bumping into the limitations of our naive, simple implementation. We'll rewrite the page from the ground up, modularize everything, and layer in modern UX, polish visuals, audio, performance tune code, and a slick UI UX flow. One, project restructure and tooling, rewrite, da-da-da. Oh, it's trying to add an audio. Adopt ES6 modules into a simple bundler. Oh, look at that. See, it's almost hallucinating. It thinks it can do more than it really can. Implement finite state machine with stage preloader, main menu settings. Okay, in a way, it hallucinated. In a way it didn't though, because it does look like it's trying to implement all this in JavaScript. Let's go ahead and just open up the console here. Oh, look, it's your background music. Okay, so one thing I'm going to do here that we can implement in the future is actually we're going to look at these server logs here, and let's grab all the errors out. And I'm just going to paste it in here and say please simplify, these are bugs introduced by the last code you just wrote. Please fix them. And I just pasted in a massive list of all of these. In fact, the paste is so big that it froze the browser. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I just sent that in. It's a big message. Okay, now it's processing and thinking. Let's see what it does. You're making a plan here. Place the placeholder auto URLs. Yeah, like it was hallucinating assets that we don't have in our project. So in the future we're gonna have to like let the AI agent either go find assets or have a bunch of assets already in our project, or even let it create assets and then like somehow put it into the file system. But let's see if this fixes it at all. We might be running into the limitation. All right. Okay, set it finished. See, it's still hitting these though. So okay, yeah, we're definitely hitting into limitations. If you look here, yeah, it's still trying to get sounds. So I'm just gonna say, please remove reliance on all third-party assets that aren't already hosted in a third-party CDN that we can pull in. We do not have any assets in our project folder. Here are the errors. Here are the errors we're running into. So So this is potentially a level of improvement that we might need in our system prompts to kind of give it more context and information. That would prevent it from hallucinating things like this. And that's where there's a level of experimentation and trying to push the agent to its end capabilities. There are ways around this, like we could download a bunch of assets and things, and kind of like put them into our folder and then somehow feed that into the prompt so that it actually could reference real stuff that exists. Another option is we could have the AI agent go and actually generate its own assets. We could do that by pulling in other kind of generative models, like image generation models, and I know there's audio generation models that you can like download and run on Hugging Face. But definitely that's a bigger project, and it's not able to do that just out the box. And in fact, right here, it's doing the same thing. So I'm just going to say, please remove all references to any sound assets or third-party assets, such as images/sounds that we don't have any to use. Okay, let's see what that does. Okay, I'm running into some other error. I'm going to go ahead and feed this in to the agent. So probably one thing we'll do to improve this is okay, fed that error in. Look at this, we're getting another error here. Let's go ahead and copy and paste it, throw it in, see what it can come up with. Okay, there was an error where it routed it to respond naturally, which is not what we need, but let's go ahead and just paste it in and say, please implement these code changes. And we're actually going to put in the thought from respond naturally as well as the original error message. Let's go ahead and send that in and see what it does. One thing to kind of think about is you can see where the limitations of our agent start to happen. One of the things is we're manually copying and pasting errors out to try and debug this back into the input. And in one of the future videos, we're actually going to automate this and implement what's called a self-healing loop, where we can let the agent reflect on any errors that get ran. And we can do this through a cool trick where we can essentially initialize a browser using a tool called Playwright to test the page.html and pull out any errors that might be getting thrown on the JavaScript side. And we could actually automate the entire process so that as the user, you're not having to come in and copy the log out and paste it back in. Oh, and here you can see the same problem. No, I did write it to, let's try refreshing this. Please fix this error. Okay, one more time. Okay, and it did decide to write code this time. All right, I just finished. No more errors are now being thrown. Let's go ahead and hit play. See, but it's not working. Let's refresh. Settings doesn't work. Leaderboard doesn't work. Let's hit play. Yeah, it still doesn't work. So definitely we have some limitations here. And this is where we actually need to start moving into a little bit of a more thoughtful agent design. There's a couple different approaches we can take. One of them is doing that automated kind of debugging loop and a kind of self-verification loop using methods like reflection and self-healing properties where it can kind of make attempts to fix it and then verify if it fixed it and kind of loop many times over to try and fix it. The other thing is we can add in task. Essentially, we can do task decomposition where we start to take a high order task and break it down into smaller steps and smaller prompts, which will actually increase the accuracy of the large language model. Very, very similar to how we changed it, where this used to be one shot. It would just write the HTML code, to where we broke it down into two separate tasks where we would do a design and plan step and then a write HTML code, and how we saw massive improvements by decomposing that into two separate steps. We can actually continue to decompose this even more. So we could decompose design and plan into a set of additional nodes and prompts, and we could also do the same thing with write HTML code. And then we can also add in ways to loop back up to other nodes and kind of get into like a testing, iterative kind of feedback loop where the human doesn't actually have to be like copying and pasting errors out of the browser and sending it back in. Right now you have to do that manually, but we could have it where the agent automatically does that. So that's what we're going to start working through on the next videos. And yeah, it's exciting, and hopefully we still saw some cool things. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.